Have you ever looked in the mirror and just felt unfamiliar? Like you don't totally recognize who's looking back. Maybe you've changed schools, changed friend groups, gone through something hard, and the version of you that just used to feel solid just doesn't feel like you anymore. I want to talk about that today because identity confusion is one of the most disorienting things you can go through. And there's actually a real answer for it. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. In the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Galatians 2:20. Here's something that might sound strange at first. Maybe the reason you don't recognize yourself is because your old identity was never meant to be permanent. Galatians 2:20 says something radical. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That's not Paul saying he disappeared. It's Paul saying his old foundation, the one built on performance, opinions, achievements, mistakes, got replaced with something that can't shift under pressure. Most identity crisis happens because we built our sense of self on things that were never stable to begin with. What people think of us, how we perform, what we look like, our relationship status. None of those are bad things to care about, but none of them can hold the full weight of who am I. When Christ becomes your foundation, your identity stops being something you have to constantly rebuild every time life shakes it. It becomes something you stand on. You're not losing yourself. You might actually be finding the version of yourself that was never dependent on everything around you staying the same. The life you now live, Paul says, is by faith in the one who loved you and gave himself for you. That's not a vague feeling. That's an anchor. Write down 3 things you've been using to answer the question, who am I? Maybe it's grades, a relationship, a sport, how people see you. Then write this next to it. My identity is secure in Christ, not in this. You don't have to stop caring about those things. Just stop asking them to hold the weight that only God can hold. You're not falling apart. You might be finding a foundation that actually holds. I'm Mia, this is Daylight. Subscribe so I can see you tomorrow. Drop a comment. What's one thing you've leaned on to define yourself? Let's talk about it. See you tomorrow.